Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3. Now in episode 1 with the Aurora house snake, I mentioned that I would try and do one of these a week. But hey, the snakes are just throwing themselves at me, so it gives me the opportunity to do a little more than I thought I would. So right here next to me, I've got a beautiful puff adder, and I thought we'll have a quick chat about them, their habits, their characteristics, their colour, and so on. Definitely these are one of my favorite snakes. I own 2 Tanzanian puff adders. They are my pets, so that says a lot that they really are one of my favorite snakes to have around. Right guys, these are obviously very easy to identify. There is no other, I'm going to call it viper or snake like this in the Western Cape. It's something we do encounter very often. It makes up for a large quantity of our call-outs actually. So it's really important that you guys actually get to know the snakes, get to see what they look like. We'll get up close personal just now again. Hopefully she behaves and we can get a camera and then we can have a look at some of its markings, its head and coloration. So guys, these being fat, robust, heavy body snakes, a lot of people take them or underestimate them rather, thinking because they are fat and slow that you know, we don't have to tread too lightly around them. Guys, let me tell you what, I have massive respect for these snakes. Although fat and heavy and they look sluggish, they are incredibly quick. They can move very fast, and they are one of South Africa's fastest striking snakes. I don't know in how many milliseconds they strike, but it's something crazy. They also yield very large fangs. Along with the gaboon adder, they have some of the largest fangs in South Africa. Their fangs are actually hinged, which means that they sit flat in the top of its mouth, and when it strikes, those fangs unhinge. They'll obviously strike their prey. Once they've striked, those fangs will retract again, and they're actually housed in like a very light white skin or sheath, if I can call it that. I'll add a photo to this video and you guys can actually have a look what those look like. So yeah guys, these guys are ambush hunters. Unlike any other snake, your Cape Cobras, your non-venomous, venomous, these are ambush hunters. Other snakes will physically go out and make an effort to find food. These don't. These guys will actually lie on an animal trail. Specifically, let's take rodents, which is mainly what they feed on. They'll find a rodent trail via smell, and they will lie right next to that trail for hours, days even, until something comes past. And as soon as something comes past, it will strike. The animal will obviously run off, and the venom takes effect really quickly, so it will run off and die somewhere. And these guys will then obviously track that smell, head out to the prey wherever it died, and they will consume it right there. So yeah, being ambush hunters, they lie still in bushes or next to paths for days on end if needs be. So very cool snakes like that. I suppose that makes them a bit lazy, but that's their characteristics. That's just what they do. Alright, sort of average size. Let's talk adults now. This one that I've got here is a young female. These are very easy to distinguish male from female. It's one of the easiest snakes to do. Cape Cobras and that sort of stuff. The best way to do it is obviously to probe. But we'll show you just now exactly how to do that. Not the probing though, how to distinguish male from female. Right guys, these carry a potent cytotoxic venom. So if the snake bites you, you're going to experience one of a few things. Firstly, severe pain. Secondly, swelling. You might experience a bit of nausea. You're going to have blistering at the bite site. And then later on, what we call necrosis will set in, which is tissue rot. This venom attacks your tissue. It will actually start rotting. I did maybe consider adding a picture to the video, but if you've got a strong stomach, go ahead and Google a puff adder bite and go and look what that looks like. It's really nasty, really nasty. I'd much rather be bitten by a Cape Cobra than by one of these, to be very honest with you. It's not something I want to go through. So yeah guys, these snakes also, because they are ambush hunters and they lie so still for days on end, they account for most of the bites in South Africa. Kids running around through bush, people hiking, walking, that sort of stuff. These snakes won't just get out of your way. So they'll actually lie there, and if you're running or having a hike or something, you might suffer a bite, which is always below the knee with these guys. And yeah, they account for most of our bites throughout South Africa. There's not many fatalities. Obviously, if you don't get any medical treatment within a couple of hours, it could take your life after a day or two. They also inject a massive amount of venom. I think it's 100 milligrams to kill an adult, or to kill a human being. I think these guys inject something like 350 to 750 is the maximum recorded. So it's a hell of a lot of venom that's actually injected. So that's actually quite scary. They have a massive venom yield. So yeah, right. So that's a little bit of a chat on them. I think let's see if we can get a camera close enough to this little beautiful female here, and we can chat a little bit about their markings and coloration. So let me quickly switch cameras and we'll do that. Righty guys, so here's our puff adder, lying nice and still. So have a look at those markings. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer, sorry for the camera wobble. Alright, so just using my hook stick, you can see these chevron markings right down his body. Not every single puff adder will have those. They might vary in colour a little bit. They might be a little bit more yellow, maybe a bit of an orange to a brown, but every single one will have those markings. Right, another key characteristic is obviously their head. They've got a triangular shaped head. You can see that quite clearly. And just have a look, as I mentioned, how fat they look. Alright, another characteristic on these, I'm going to try and get a little bit closer to her, she's a bit skittish. On the top of the head here, they have that solid white line that runs between the eyes. Now every single puff adder will have that, either yellow again, sometimes white. That's a very good way to be able to identify them. Not that you should have trouble IDing these, they are really simple, really easy to identify, where the other adders we have in the Western Cape are all a lot smaller than puff adders. Puff adders are definitely the biggest adders we have here. Right guys, so as I mentioned, puff adders are the easiest to tell male from female. This is a female, just keep her in here, she wants to jump out the bucket. Females have a really short tail, males will have a much longer tail, and that's how you could pretty much tell the difference. Trusty old hook stick here, she is busy. Right guys, so with this camouflage, with the patterning and the colors, you can only imagine how hard these are to see in the bush. If they're lying under a tuft of grass or in a bush, they are really not easy to spot at all, and you can quite clearly see why. So guys, always take precaution when you're out having a walk or a hike. Always just keep your eyeballs peeled and be aware of your surroundings. And guys, if you ever encounter any snake on your property or at your business, please do not ever attempt to catch or handle any snake you cannot 100% positively identify. Rather get hold of your local snake catcher, and we will be out to assist you as soon as we can. Guys, I think that's it from me on the puff adder. Until the next episode, stay safe, have an awesome day, and we will catch up later. Cheers.